Filipinos and tourists from different parts of the world flocked to this year's boat sailing festival in Iloilo, dubbed Parao Regatta 2016. Parao is the Visayan term for a double outrigger boat made of indigenous material. It has been held every February for the past 43 years. The event also featured seacraft, colourfully designed sails. Among the crowd favourites this year are the sail painted with the farmer's family portrait, a sail painted with dolphins, and a Philippine flag-inspired sail. The race course has a length of around 30 kilometres and passes through the nearby provinces of Panay and Guimaras. Malaysian rail operator Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad, or KTMB, recently launched the longest cargo service train in Southeast Asia. Carrying 120 wagons stretching 1.9 kilometres with a load of 2,400 tonnes, KTMB's cargo service train has earned another spot on the Malaysia Book of Records for the longest cargo train using single locomotive in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. The previous record in 2010 was only 50 wagons. Using a German-made Blue Tiger locomotives, the KTM Class 26 train left Port Klang in the Klang Valley at 9:55 p.m. and arrived at the Padang Besar station in Perlis at 1:15 p.m. the next day. The MBR certificate was presented to KTMB Chairman Nawawi Ahmad. These locomotives have full electronic engine management and are the first KTMB fleet of locomotives to have air conditioning and onboard toilet. They have a top speed of 120 km an hour and a power output of 3,300 horsepower. The Port Klang to Padang Besar run is KTMB's preparation towards the ASEAN Open Market and the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, or TPPA, that need countries to compete among its own members from both organizations. Nawawi Ahmad said beginning this year, KTMB changed its train run policy from passengers to cargo-centric for goods to be exported, as this would benefit the country economically. The Port Klang to Padang Besar run is meant to provide a more efficient, economical and safer cargo services. It provides an alternative to enable cargo movements from south of Thailand up to Indochina. In the future, KTMB hopes there would be a train system from China that would pass through Laos, Thailand and to Port Klang in accordance to the One Belt, One Road initiative plans. The traditional game of tiki, similar to hockey, is an iconic feature of Laos' annual Tat Luang festival and remains an inherent part of this many-sided celebration. Before the game, a witch doctor who holds a mukbang leads villagers, players from the government's officials team and local people's teams to give permission to bring the luki or ball from the spirit at the village hall where the ball is kept. Then the witch doctor leads the parade of these people and players west to the door of the Tat Luang stupa. The witch doctor, players and people walk 3 rounds around the stupa. Some players recall that it requires quite some skills to control the bamboo root ball, as it is not perfectly smooth and round. But the matches were always full of fun and excitement, and everyone had a good time. The game was always played in a friendly spirit, with the aim of bolstering solidarity between local populace and government officials. This year, each team prepared 50 players. Half of these players played in the first half of the game and the rest played the second half. Each half of play lasts about 25 minutes. The contestants were cheered on by an enthusiastic crowd of bystanders, with the men mostly wearing sarong and the women dressed in their traditional sin. The atmosphere was enlivened by the crowd. singing and impromptu dancing by the side of the pitch. Some elderly people record that back in their day, there was not only a tiki match but also a horse racing competition, again with plenty of crowd support. But rest assured, peace and contentment will be sure to prevail, no matter which team emerges victorious. It is written in unanimity, but the history of Luki, the ball for playing, is written in different ways in different books. However, currently the ball is made of the solid roots of bamboo. Tradition held that if the local people's team won the match, it foretold a year of happiness and well-being for the citizenry. Rather conveniently, if the government officials prevailed, this was seen as an indication that the town folks would be fairly governed over the coming year, thus ensuring contentment whatever the outcome. Singapore's track and field athletes will now be able to seek traditional Chinese medicine treatment after Singapore Athletics signed a one-year deal with a TCM company, Kin Tek Tong. But just how does TCM help athletes? From aches and pains to strains and sprains, Singapore's athletes now have the option of seeking TCM treatment with Kin Tek Tong. Just how effective will TCM be?
For strains and aches, traditional Chinese medicine would have an edge because it would, for example, the twin, the TCM massage, it would help to release the muscle tension and things like that. But of course, if the patient has bone-related illnesses like a fracture or things like that, of course we will advise them to go to the Western doctors to be diagnosed and to do treatment.
Marathoner So Rui Yong, who won a gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games, believes in using a combination of both Western and Eastern medicine. He said TCM treatment might not be everyone's cup of tea.
I wouldn't necessarily say I would use it in place of physiotherapy, but I would use it hand in hand. The thing about Chinese medicine is it's got thousands of years of history. It's got so many more years of learning and experience and evolution than Western medicine has. So Western medicine has been working well for most of us so far, but I'm not opposed to trying something that can potentially have benefits on the body as well. And at the end of the day, it's about what works for your body.
Shanti Pereira, Southeast Asia's fastest woman over 200 meters, has tried TCM massages and believes they can complement her training.
I think it's really important for recovery. That's the essential part of trying to give our all at training and also preventing injuries from occurring.
The partnership is worth $280,000 and will run for 1 year starting from January. Seven Sarus cranes, previously nurtured at a zoo in the northeastern province of Nakhon Ratchasima in Thailand, were released to their natural habitat recently. Zookeepers of Nakhon Ratchasima Zoo brought the birds, aged 7 to 8 months, to a non-hunting area in Mueng district of Buriram, one of the country's wetlands. In a program to conserve the endangered crane by the Zoological Organization of Thailand, 94 Sarus cranes have been bred by researchers and conservationists at the zoo in the past years. 3 years ago, 71 Sarus cranes were released under the program at wetlands in Buriram. Veterinarians will observe the birds' behavior and adaptations for 45 days using radio devices attached to their bodies. Thailand zoo animals at Chiang Mai Night Safari, an open zoo in northern Thailand, were treated to a special treat in the style of local Lanna culture. Marking the 10th anniversary of the zoo, zookeepers offered favorite foods for animals including elephants, ponies, sheep and deer in what they called kan tok, which is the type of feast in which foods are served in round table with several legs made from wood. Visitors and residents of nearby community also joined in the fun. Chiang Mai Night Safari has over 140 types of animal, attracting at least 6 million visitors each year. Many associate video games and watching anime programs with social ills among students and youths. Therefore, a festival to expose the benefits of the game was organized recently by the Creative Arts Academy, Aswara, themed Explore, Learn, Play. Sharon Koo, a student, said they can fill their free time by idling away, but with video games they can gain knowledge. It opens up people's minds. Ahmad Imran, a participant, said video games are not only useful games. For example, it teaches them to communicate well. It also teaches them English. According to one of the program committee members, Nur Fatin Rani, various programs are being designed to change the perception of the community in relation to visual arts and creativity as well as video games. She said some are so obsessed with the games that they ignore their studies and so on. It depends on how one organizes their time management. This time around, the program has also invited presentation from outside the agency to showcase the different aspects of visual arts to the students. Thousands of sardines, known locally as tamban, appeared near the port of Dipolog, north of Manila. Residents were overjoyed to see so many tambans, and some tried to catch as many as they could. It's for free, they say, which is why they seized the moment to catch as many tambans. Day and even at night, the number of fish appeared to go up, and fishermen and local residents jumped in the water just to catch the sardines. Residents said this happens sometimes depending on the movement of the moon. They sell the fish at a much cheaper price compared to market rates, to the delight of the customers. Some businesses also took advantage of the high number of sardines. They immediately bought a lot of sardines and placed them in bottles to be sold to various supermarkets across the country.